Hi there. So I'm tylltoons, and I'm going to be running Phineas and Ferb again. So before we get into the game and before we get to introduce ourselves, I'm going to need to quickly show you what an upgrade is. So in this game, you get to collect a bunch of items. For example, Ferb gets the drill, which lets you destroy walls, or which lets you also clip through walls. Phineas gets the skateboard. And you're going to collect 6 of them throughout the game, and the entire game is designed around them. However, the features are a little limited. For example, the jetpack only lets you double jump like that. But at some points in the game, you're going to find these little upgrade stations where you're going to be able to do this little 3D block puzzle. And this actually gives you some extra tools for your, or some extra functionalities for your tools. And now that we've upgraded the jetpack, we can actually hover. And the entire game is pretty much designed around these upgrades. So if you play through the game normally, if you skip an upgrade, you can't continue. Because basically the way the game is designed, once you pass by an upgrade, you're going to need it to collect the next objective, or to complete the next objective. But right now, we're going to complete the game without any upgrades. So we're going to go back to the main menu and quickly start the run. So it looks like we have no audio right now, which is interesting. Ah, okay, so the volume was that explains it. It was not the wire, it was in fact just the audio settings. All right, so we should be ready to go.
Brilliant.
So you're going to start the run for me, so I'm going to just count you down.
Yep.
We'll start in 3, 2, 1, go.
Good luck.
Right, thanks for good luck. So this is Phineas and Ferb Ride Again. This is a 3D platforming game mostly. It has some other genres as well. It's quite interesting. It's a little shovelware game released in 2010 based on the 2nd season of Phineas and Ferb. And on my couch right now, I have...
My name's Kyrone. I do not speedrun this game, but I like the Phineas and Ferb music, so I'm sat here to talk about the songs.
And coming all the way from Germany on the mic, we've also got...
I'm Real Mim. I have run this game. I don't anymore, sadly, but I might come back, and I'm here for the much technical support of this game, because this game is very quirky and technical.
Yeah, so Mim is one of the main glitch hunters of this game. I introduced the game to him about a year ago. He's found a bunch of stuff. So, well, only a minute into the run, you can only see that we're doing something you're not really supposed to do. So the first item you get in this game is the drill, which, what it's supposed to do, it's supposed to let you destroy walls, like clearly marked walls and objects. But if you use it against the wall that you're not supposed to be able to destroy, Ferb actually gets pushed backwards. And during that little push, Ferb's collision does not get checked. So if you have 2 walls, and also I'm not used to this 2DS, that's great. Try to press A, that's awesome. Yeah, so if you have 2 walls perpendicular to one another, you can actually align yourself in such a way that you can use one wall to clip through the other one.
So funny that that's possible.
So we just walked past the orange toolbox, which contains the goggles, which are completely useless. In any percent, we actually collect them, but in this category, we don't, because we don't need to upgrade anything. So the reason we can actually skip it is that normally you have to collect the goggles and upgrade them, because if you want to upgrade anything else without having upgraded the goggles, the game will crash. But now that we're not upgrading anything, we don't have to worry about that, and we can actually skip the goggles and we don't need to upgrade them, which is great. So the first 20 minutes or so of the run are essentially going to be glorified any percent, except we can actually skip the upgrades, so we are saving a little bit of time there.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't know anything about the no upgrades category. I've not seen any of this before.
Yeah, so basically the first 2 worlds are very similar, but then later in the game, we have to do some shenanigans, because you are supposed to have the hover, which we will not collect in this run. So we have to do some workarounds. Some of them are some very precise jumps that might take a while to get, but we should be good. So now we have the jetpack. This is going to open up the movement in this game quite a bit. And now that we have the 3rd project piece, we are actually going to pause the game and return to the backyard. And now we're going to do a fun little thing.
Oh, I'm looking forward to this.
So, Mim, what are we going to do?
So what we're going to do now is we're going to do a void storage. So we're basically going to clip in a corner over there, and that's a very special corner because above this platform is actually a platform that'll take us to the end of World 1. So we're just gonna throw Ferb into the void right there.
My boy.
And what is happening here is Ferb's position is stored in that little platform there. So we're gonna go to the right of the world here to go to the water section where we've been previously. And we're gonna switch to Ferb on the yellow boats on the water, which are not counted as ground. So it'll take us to the last ground that Ferb was on, which is all the way over there. And also, we're gonna take us all the way to the top of this platform, which will take us to the end of World 1.
Yeah, so the reason we go up there is because, like, basically the game just autopilots when you're in that propeller state and like, you can't actually do anything. And it's going to try to bring you back to your last position, but it cannot go through walls, right? So there's a bunch of invisible walls there that the game will have to carry you over. And in fact, there's actually a very high invisible wall around that teleport platform. So the game is going to try to like scale that massive wall, and then it's going to descend again over the platform. But the propeller actually gets cancelled once you touch ground. So that's why you just hit the platform.
Is that the star-nosed mole I see in the background?
That was, in fact, the star-nosed mole.
Oh, brilliant.
So yeah, so you're going to have to watch the screen very carefully and point out all of the references.
Yeah, and I believe we are in the Finferb car wash right now, which I think is a B tier song.
It's all right.
It's a good one. It's a good one.
It's not the greatest, but it's
no,
it's
it's above average, which I think goes a long way.
So there I did a little safety save because you can very easily die and kill the run in this game at any given point. And I'm gonna go for a strat that saves like 5 seconds, but is a little risky, so I don't want to kill the run. Okay, we got it. Yeah, that jump seems very easy, but there's actually a trillion invisible walls there. And if you hit just one of them, you're just gonna bonk and die. And then I would have to backtrack and lose like 3 minutes. So that's pretty nice. So we're almost done with World 1. We're just gonna collect one more piece. And the way this game works is you have to collect all of these toolboxes, and then once you have all of them, we're gonna build our invention. So actually, Chiron, I have a little favor to ask of you.
Certainly.
Could you please open my backpack right in front of you and get the stylus from my 3DS?
If I can find your 3DS, that is, mate. I think I'm in the wrong pockets. This is why you shouldn't have trusted me with this, because I am struggling already.
Yeah, it's the big one. That's the red 3DS. And I don't know, like this 3DS probably has one. The one I was practicing on didn't have one.
The stylus just flew out.
Oh, that's awesome. So I'm gonna have to do this with my finger, but that's fine.
I will find you the stylus.
I mean, it should be good.
Where did it go?
Yeah, so this is how building a skateboard works, by the way. We're gonna have to... Thank you very much. Bro, give it to me, please. I need to use it.
I had to show the camera.
There you go. So now we have our stylus. So for those who've never seen the show, what Phineas and Ferb is all about, basically, Phineas and Ferb are stepbrothers that spend every day like building all sorts of ridiculous inventions. And then in the meantime, their pet platypus is actually a secret agent who fights an evil scientist called Dr. Doofenshmirtz, who builds an innator every day. And usually the innator is then going to destroy Phineas and Ferb's invention, which is why their mom never gets to see what they are up to. So in this little game, we can collect these little stars, and if you press the B button, you can actually get a little boost. And usually, the meter that you see in the bottom right is supposed to deplete very quickly, but if you like mash the B button ever so slightly, you can actually keep the star for a lot longer. And I'm realizing that it's actually really difficult to mash on this 2DS or whatever it is, because the buttons do feel a little different from what I'm used to. But we should be good.
That's okay, you're still doing fine.
Yeah, it's. I mean, you can't lose too much time, right? Like in the grand scheme of things. It's like not really an auto-scroller because it does come down to your mashing. But yeah, it's still like a very quick little mini game. I lost like 3 seconds to what you can get ideally, just because these mashes have not been the cleanest. But like, what's 3 seconds in the grand scheme of things?
Yeah. And I just want to mention as well, please bring your donations for this run. Let us know what your favorite Phineas and Ferb song is. That's something I specifically asked Till to make sure happens, just so I can judge people's opinions on the Phineas and Ferb soundtrack, which slaps, by the way.
It's true. Yeah, Kai and I have actually been working on a tier list of all of the songs from Phineas and Ferb.
A lot of arguments are being created.
Lots of arguments, and I think that might be why we haven't worked on it in quite a while.
Yeah. What's your favorite, Till?
I gotta go with like Summer Belongs to You or something like very generic. I know.
I'm a big fan of You Snuck Your Way Right Into My Heart by the band Love Handle.
It's a great song.
And I also love Come On Kids, Let's Squirt That Gelatin Monster, because Till hates it.
It's not that I don't hate it. It's just that you think it's the greatest song, and I don't agree with that.
You just don't get it.
Oh, I see. So now we're in one of the first parry levels in the game, and this is where we're gonna fight Doof for the first time. And this is one of the biggest RNG sections in the entire run. So basically, Doof's flowchart is he's gonna try to hit us, and then after that he might laugh, and then after that he's gonna hit us with the lawn gnome. And we want him to hit us with the lawn gnome, and ideally we don't want him to hit us, and we don't want him to laugh. So let's see what's gonna happen. That's one. And basically, the more he hits you, the more time you lose. It's great. Alright, it's looking fantastic already. And this is what you want. So whenever he throws the lawn gnomes, his little like shield drops, and then you can actually hit him. That's 4. That's 5. By the way, I can't tell you which episode this is from because I can't remember, but there is an episode in the season 2 with the Bratwurst versus hot dog fight, which is what is being replicated right here.
I also like the picture of Doof back in Gimmelstump with his balloon friend.
Yeah,
in the background. That was a very nice little
or Balloony, depending on who you're asking.
I think, yeah, I don't remember. It's been a while.
So actually, here's a little challenge for you. We are going to see Balloony later in the run.
Oh, are we?
I want you to pay attention and see if you can find them.
I'll make sure to point at it when I see it. But,
all right, very nice. Yeah, so that's day 1 done. There's 4 days in total, but like the worlds are going to get longer as we move on.
Also, when would be a good time for donations, do you reckon?
If you have one, go for it.
I have 2, and they're not that similar. Candace has donated $20 and says, "Mom, Ferb is glitching reality again." I also have $5, also from Candace. Bracket, it's definitely not Naomi. He goes, "Mom, Phineas and Ferb are breaking the world at ESA Marathon, raising money for Alzheimer's Fund again."
So now we have the skateboard, which is like kind of useless for the most part, but we needed to cross these skateboard ramps that you can find pretty much exclusively in World 2, except now we're gonna skip all of them.
Let's go.
But we are gonna need it later in the run. So yeah, if we clip through the wall there, we can just kind of walk past the skateboard ramps. And the skateboard ramps feel kind of slow, but they actually let you travel quite a long distance, so it only saves like a second to skip them, but it's fine. So this world is like loosely based on 2 episodes. It's mainly based on the episode The Chronicles of Meep, where Phineas and Ferb find an alien called Meep, whose spaceship they destroy. So that's our goal, right? We're gonna try to build Meep's skateboard, or try to repair it, I guess. And then we're gonna go to space and fight Mitch. But also, this world is also based on the episode Gaming the System. I guess that toolbox might be important, but I don't really know what's in there, so we're just gonna walk past it.
Is Gaming the System the one with Duck or Jump?
Yep.
Oh, that's a banger song in that one.
So there you can just walk through the fence. There's quite a lot of spots in the game where the wall collision isn't very good, so you can just kind of walk through walls. Not that it really matters, because we can go through any wall anyway. Then we're going to see a little propeller manipulation again. By jumping into the death plane there, the game is going to take us to the rooftop.
That's so awesome.
Yeah, so like basically every single time there's floor above you, and there's like a wall that you can't go through, like, or that the propeller can't go through, you can just upwarp. That's actually a really precise clip there that I just did. There's like a tiny invisible wall, then if you line yourself up like a texture on the wall, you can go right through. And yeah, this is normal. That's actually like supposed to happen. There's supposed to be a bridge there that you can lower, but the collision is always there, so you can just walk on it. So right now we're actually doing a major part of this world backwards. So in every single world there's a subsection that you can enter from a different sub-level basically, or like a different part of the world. And what you're supposed to do is go through the loading zone, pick up a toolbox, go right back, and you're not supposed to be able to reach the rest of the world. But using wall clips, we can go wherever we want. So we did that in 2-1, so that way we got to 2-3, and now we're going to go through most of this world backwards. Which is really good, because that way we can just like ignore most of the obstacles, because all of the walls just have collision on one side. So you can just kind of walk through everything. Coming up is a pretty cool trick found by Mim. If you're still here.
Do you want to explain it, Mim?
Yes. Yeah, sure. So you see, Phineas just jumped on the left there, completely somehow got up on top of that floor there, weirdly upwarp to it. The way it works is there's actually only the invisible walls only extend to the left for a little bit, and then if you jump on top of the pump to the left, you can completely just bypass the invisible wall and get up there.
Yeah, so also we just ignored the jetpack upgrade because we're doing no upgrades. So this is the first instance where no upgrades is actually going to lose time to any percent. Because we don't have the upgraded jetpack, movement is going to be a lot more limited. And in this world, there's a bunch of trampolines that shoot you very high, and it's like really slow to jump on them. And what you're supposed to do is just hover over them and completely ignore them. But we can't do that, so we're going to lose a little time there. This is the Run Jump Dog section from Gaming the System, where Phineas and Ferb create a video game that you can enter yourself. And in that game, there's these pineapples that if you step on them, they're gonna raise these vines. Okay, I swear I pressed A in both of those situations, but that's fine. Generally, if you fall, you wanna like hover.
I do like that she yells at you for just taking full damage.
Yeah, like by the way, there's supposed to be Candace somewhere on the screen, but yeah, just don't worry about it. She's not watching us. I mean, she is, but we can't see her.
Wasn't one of the clips you did in World 1 just skips her involvement in the game completely?
Yeah.
That's so funny.
Yeah, I guess we can talk about Candace. So normally in World 1-1, you walk into a trigger, and then from that point on, Candace is gonna watch you, and basically you have to like watch out that you don't take damage, because every single time you take damage, there's gonna be like a meter on the top screen that's gonna deplete a little. And once it's fully depleted, she's gonna try to bust you, and then you have to do a little mini game, which is like essentially a Pac-Man clone, where you have to run away from her and make sure you don't get busted. But obviously we don't want to worry about like taking damage, and we don't want to have to play any extra mini games, so we just skip her. And also, if you trigger her, the game is gonna lag insanely hard for whatever reason, and we don't want that. Like, especially if you play this game on a regular DS, the game lags an absurd amount. It's actually ridiculous. And triggering Candace just makes it so much worse. So ideally you want to play on a 3DS or a DSi.
Oh, it's Jeremy! Oh.
It's Jeremy! Oh my god, say hi to Jeremy.
Oh, he's so hot. He's so cute!
So we're going to do another like up warp. And this is the section where we just were. So we're back in 2-1, now we're going to go back to 2-3. And now we're going to complete the rest of the world as normal, or like as normal as we do in this run. So like the project that we're trying to complete is we're trying to build Meep's spaceship, but like it's right here for some reason. But yeah, don't worry about it. It's fine. Who the hell is Aglet? Well, the real question is, what is an Aglet?
Has anyone here got an Aglet they can show us?
The shoes that I'm wearing right now do not have any Aglets.
No, mine are Aglet. Oh wait, I do have an Aglet on my shoe.
Okay, so now we're in Mitch's spaceship, which is where we're also gonna go in a couple of minutes. I don't know why we're already here. Here we have to do a little alternative strat because it's no upgrades. Because we can't like hover to the death plane, so we have to use this death plane, which takes us all the way up here. From here we're gonna go all the way back down again. And now we can go over here and get the toolbox. So coming up is actually the newest trick in the run that was found 2 nights ago by Mim.
Oh, I'm excited for this. I've seen
This is awesome.
Yeah, so what we basically found is there's goo in this one particular level here in 2-4, and this goo makes you slide around on the floor if you like press a direction, but what I found out is that if you spam a direction, you can actually gain speed, and if you do it with Ferb, it actually takes no time at all, because we found out Ferb actually has a faster starting speed, so we can even clip through faster with Ferb.
Yeah, we were messing around with like the RAM yesterday and finding a bunch of values. And so we learned that Ferb can get more speed on like a single frame. So basically that like every time you mash, you add like speed on every frame. So you can do it with Phineas as well, but it's faster with Ferb.
I'm just surprised that, you know, a lot of speedruns don't have people just looking at RAM to find out the things, but they've got it in Phineas and Ferb. That's impressive.
Yeah, it's really hard to deal with because it's just a bunch of numbers that tell you nothing. So we're just gonna have to mess around quite a lot. Okay, and that's World 2 done.
Nice, well done. Now time for your favorite part of the speedrun.
Yeah, now it's time for the worst part of the speedrun. And then after that, it's time for some shenanigans.
Oh, I do like a shenanigan or two.
So now we're going to try and build the spaceship that we just used. Again, by just cleaning the dirt off of a couple of things. And then after that, it's time for a little auto-scroller.
I do also just want to mention that whilst we're playing off the capture card and on these amazing microphones here, it doesn't quite hit the same as when you watch Till's stream when he's using his webcam and using like a microphone up close, and you can just hear him like hammering the touchscreen down. It's like there's a nice bit of ASMR to that, and it's a shame that we can't hear it right now.
Yeah, at home I use an iPad that I place on my desk, and then I keep my 3DS behind my iPad and use the camera on the iPad to film it. Yeah, so this is a little auto-scroller. If the host has anything to say, go ahead.
Maybe their favorite Phineas and Ferb song as well?
What's your favorite Phineas and Ferb song?
Oh, I don't know that well, but I do know that Perry's song slaps. So I think that's probably what I'm going to go for. But yeah, no. In terms of things to say, we do have a upcoming donation incentive for a later run, The Legends of the Twilight Princess Low Percent, or Slow Percent, whatever you want to call it. The 14-hour megalith does have a bonus donation incentive to skip Star-Lord, which is actually one of the hardest tricks of the game. So if you want to see that happen, we are $324 away from that only. So keep those donations coming in. And yeah, we've not seen any donations come in about best songs. I've seen a few comments in the chat, but go on. If you really like any songs in Phineas and Ferb, then you know, put your money where your opinion is.
You know, any squirrels in your pants, any, give me an example, I can't think of it.
Minecart Rhythm.
Any Fabulouses.
Fabulous, oh my lord.
Give me a grade, that's a banger.
That's a pretty good one, except it would be better if it was sung by anyone who's not Belgian.
Yeah, but I mean, the lyrics go hard.
Lyrics are great, yeah. That's so true. So there's something I was going to say about this, but I forgot. Which is great. So yeah, basically we're just doing this little like rail shooter. We're supposed to get to Mish's spaceship. Like you can just kind of do whatever. Like you can build up a score by like shooting as much as possible, but it makes no difference. Like generally you just want to make sure you don't die here. There's like a tiny time save we can do at the very end where there's going to be like a massive boulder in front, and the game just ends immediately as soon as that boulder is destroyed. So we're going to try to mash really hard to destroy it as fast as possible, otherwise we're going to lose like 2 seconds. Yeah, but until then we just wait out. Yeah, I think I was just going to say how awesome Starlet Skip is and how you should donate to that. Because that trick is quite something. It's definitely not the most ridiculous trick in low percent, but it might be the hardest one.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with low percent or really much about Twilight Princess speedrunning.
I could tell you why it's ridiculous, but I think you should just tune in later to see it with your own eyes.
Absolutely.
It's going to be one of the coziest streams of the marathon.
It's going to be great.
It's going to... Is it starts tonight and ends tomorrow, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Looking forward to it.
As far as I know, they're going to like end the stream overnight. I could be wrong. So this is the ball that we need to destroy. Mashing on a 3DS is kind of difficult. I mean, could have been better, but whatever.
That's alright, you destroyed it.
Good enough. Okay, so now it's time for like the worst part of the game, which is the Mitch boss fight. So basically, the way this fight works is we're going to be in an arena with a bunch of targets that we need to hit. And there's going to be a countdown that's going to count us down to like the point when these terminals activate. And we just need to wait it out. There's 3 phases. In the first phase, it's always going to be 10 seconds. But later, it's going to be random. It can be anything between like 7 seconds and 25 seconds on every single phase. Also, these patterns are completely random. So you just want to like stand somewhere and pray that you get a good pattern.
Have you ever seen someone get a perfect Mitch fight?
I've gotten pretty good ones, but like basically every time I do practice, I get like a crazy one. But every time I do runs, I get like 24 and 23. Now I got 13, which is actually really good. And now we're just going to shoot him. And now we wait. So there's actually a little tech you can do here. Basically, if you run against the wall at an angle and then jump, you get a little speed boost. So we're going to use that to just travel a bit faster. But yeah, that was like an example for like a bad pattern where it's like random which terminals activate. You can snipe this one from afar. There we go. And 21. Okay, so this is like an average one. I mean, 21 is awful, but if you get a 13 on the other phase, that's like, alright. Okay, we got someone saying Ain't Got Rhythm's unbeatable.
Yeah, it's one of the best.
It's pretty good.
I wouldn't say it's the best though. It's certainly a good contender, and I don't disagree with anyone who says it's the best, but it's personally not my favorite.
I think it's not even the best Love Handle song, although technically it's not a Love Handle song, it's just like a swampy song.
Yeah, I know. We know. Everyone knows, Till, that your favorite Love Handle song is the Tri-State Area Unification Day song.
Clearly.
You know, that song where they just say the words Tri-State Area Unification Day over and over again.
By the way, you missed Colin, or Balloony, whatever.
I miss
I just
Balloony.
realized, yeah, you can see him in World 2-4. I forgot to point it out.
Oh.
If you really mess up in this fight, you can actually see him, but that costs like a minute. So
Is it okay if we?
do it.
Is it okay if we reset 24 minutes into this run just so we can see Balloony again?
Just rewind the tape, I guess.
No, that's just not viable right now, Till.
Okay, so that's Mitch done. That's pretty much most of the RNG done. Actually, no, that's not even right. We're doing no upgrades. All right, speaking of no upgrades, so normally what you do in this game, there's like a trillion repair mini-games. Basically, everywhere in the game, there's going to be a bunch of broken trampolines and ladders and doors or whatever that you need to repair. And every single time you come across one of those, you need to do a little like mini-game on the touchscreen. And there's actually a lot of them, and the ones that you get are completely random. And we've actually gotten to the point where we have eliminated all of them from any %. So pretty much the parry levels are the only RNG sections in the run. But No Upgrades has quite a lot of them. So time for shenanigans.
I'm looking forward to it.
Let's see how many tries this takes. That was the first one. So we want to jump over there, except it's an absurdly precise jump.
I'm curious what this is actually going to achieve.
Also there, I had to not say something for a bit because you can actually trigger the thing you can see on the right with the microphone.
Okay, so we just have to be quiet for a moment then.
That's the third try, that's good.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, like if you have the hover, that's completely free, but yeah. So like the main problem with World 3 is we cannot access the middle section without the hover pretty much, so we're gonna have to do some workarounds. This is what you do in any %, you just play the entire world backwards. But we're gonna get to the point where we cannot progress any further, so then we're gonna go back to the backyard, and then we're gonna do the rest forwards pretty much.
May I ask you a quick question, Till?
Go for it.
I can't remember, but was this category possible before Mim came along, or was it?
No.
Thought not.
So Mem, do you want to talk about that, like what you did?
Yeah, I mean, I don't really remember fully what happened, but basically, Till introduced me to this game, and I completely messed around with everything. I had a lot of fun with it, and I started to break the game. And so then they told me about no upgrades being not possible, and then I tried around, and someday, I think, yeah, it was someday I messed around with World 3, and they told me that jump is not possible, but yeah, I guess it was possible, and I really just had to optimize it.
I was gonna go for like a skip there, but it's actually absurdly precise and risky, and it only saves a tiny bit, so we're just gonna do the repair.
Have we seen that jump yet, Mim, by the way, or was that something?
No, we'll get to it later.
Yeah, so shout.
Yeah,
Speak up when you see it, because I definitely want to know what you've contributed.
I mean, we might be there for like a minute or two, so...
Yeah,
I don't think you'll miss it. Yeah, like also that jump I just did was very precise, but yeah. So there used to be a category in this game called No Upgrades, which was created by our good friend, certainly someone here in the chat right now. But when Mim came around, we basically made No Upgrades trivia, no repairs, I mean, because like back in the day, you would have to do some shenanigans to skip some of the repairs, and it would waste like 5 minutes just to skip one repair. But nowadays, no repairs is actually the optimal way to beat the game. So then we were like, okay, you know what? What if we did the game without without upgrades? And that was a little bit more difficult because there were like 2 obstacles. The first one was the middle section of World 3. The second one was the latter half of World 4. But we'll get there when we get there. This was the last repair that we were able to skip. The skip for that is absurdly precise, and it requires the hover. So we have to do the little repair. So far, like the RNG that I've gotten for these mini games is like not the worst. Like some of them take like 3 seconds, This one is a little longer, but you know, it's fine. In the first game, they actually force you to do a little tutorial every single time you get a new minigame, which is really annoying. And this game, you can just like kind of skip all of the tutorials, which is nice. Okay, so here we get the third project piece, and now we're gonna return to the backyard. So although this is like technically like the most broken category, as in like we skip the most that is possible to skip, or like without like wasting multiple hours. Like some parts of this world are actually gonna resemble more of like a casual playthrough, because we're gonna have to do quite a lot of repairs because we do not have the hover. So we'll get that in a bit. For now, we're gonna do a quick upwarp here. It's actually really important where you die there, because you don't want to like, because you want to get stuck on that invisible wall. Otherwise, you would just go back to where you were. Here's another precise jump. Let's see if I can get it. If not, it's fine. But this one is like one try only. That's not gonna make it. Yeah, that might make it. Nice.
Nice.
Okay. So this is the fishing rod, which is an item that we do not get in any percent. It's basically like a grappling hook. Or like if you upgrade it, it's a grappling hook. For now, it just lets you like collect some pieces that you need to do certain repairs. Here's a seesaw that you only see in World 3. They do what you would expect a seesaw to do, except not quite. Let's hope this works. I'm not quite sure about the setup.
What the?
Yeah, it should work.
Yeah, that's what it's supposed to do.
I've never seen that in my life.
Yeah, so they just yeet you to the side. But like normally you're supposed to land next to that trampoline, and then you're supposed to repair it. But like if you clip into it and trigger it from the right, then like your position gets a little offset, so it shoots you further to the right as well.
Is that a Loch Ness monster passing by?
That is a Loch Nose monster passing by.
Oh, the Loch Nose monster.
I appreciate the unlimited Steam reference.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need to like really watch out with my movement, because like, I can't do any like, muscle memory with the hover. I need to watch out, don't take too much damage. Coming up is a little clip here. Fortunately, this one is safe because there is a death plane here, so we're not going to void out.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that's the easy part. Okay, there we go.
Nicely
There's
done.
like no ground to stand there. But fortunately, it's safe. Like, if you fall down, you're just gonna fall into the death plane, and then you can go back up. But yeah, there's a good chance there could be like a void out there, which would just kill the run. So we're getting to the point where we're gonna have to do like, I don't know how many it is, but we might need to do like 6 repairs back to back. Yeah, we're just gonna ignore this thing.
Nice.
Here's one of the pineapples outside of, what's it called? Jump, run, duck, for some reason.
Isn't it just jump and duck?
I guess so. I mean, we can't even duck in this game. So here's a balloon. This might be a little interesting, because to use these things, you're gonna have to blow into the microphone. So I might need to watch out I don't blow into the headset. You know what I'm gonna do?
Yeah, just move it away.
Yeah, move it away a bit. Yeah, normally you could just clip out of bounds and hover past this. That wasn't too loud on the stream.
I didn't hear it too loudly, so I think you're fine.
Fine. Yeah, so that's what like regular gameplay in this game looks like. You just platform for like 10 seconds, and then you have to do one of those mini games. It's awesome. But I actually really enjoyed this game as a kid, because I actually grew up with this game.
See, I never knew about this game's existence until I met you.
There's an absurd amount of Phineas and Ferb games. It's actually ridiculous.
Yeah, I never knew about any of them.
Yeah, on the DS there's like 4, and then there's ones on other consoles as well, and then there's like a ton of web games. So here's repair number 2, is that right? Okay, this is actually like the second best minigame you can get. So far the RNG has been pretty okay. You can do that one in like 3.5 seconds, others can take like 10 seconds. And that's why we needed the fishing rod, because we needed to get like an extra scrap to complete the repair. So there's 2 more repairs right around the corner, and then there's going to be another one in 3-3, and I think that's it for now. Okay, it's just insanely blessed. That's really good.
Nicely done.
That takes the most skill out of all things on the run. So, this is a very interesting section that we're going to get to in a bit. But not for now. I don't know what the star thing is supposed to be, but apparently we need it to repair hot air balloons.
So, in any percent, how do you get around that then?
We come from the other side.
Oh, okay.
And we just clip through the fence and hover over everything. We can't hover right now because, yeah, we don't have it.
Fair enough, fair enough. All we get here in a little blow. Didn't even hear that one.
So try to keep in mind like that section you see there. That's going to be important in a bit. But now we're just going to move on to the right. Like that's another reason why no upgrades loses time to any percent, because the routing requires us to go like back and forth. So we're gonna ignore this thing.
I like the little Phineas and Ferb tree, is that? Oh, it's gone past it now. Oh, there's Perry.
Oh, there you are, Perry. This should be the last repair for a bit. There's gonna be one more later.
Is Ferb okay?
Okay. Yeah, Ferb's just gonna die a bunch. Let's not worry about him for now. Actually, he's back. He's doing the repair. Okay, we're just getting this repair like every single time now, which is fantastic. That's not what I want.
So, can it be like a different style of repair every time?
Yeah, I mean like the patterns you get are different every single time.
But like the mini-game's different? Or am I just getting confused?
Well, the minigames that you get are random, but then also what you do in the minigame, or like the patterns that you get within the minigames are also random.
Oh, okay.
Here's another patented real mem strategy, by the way.
Let's see it.
Yeah, it's nice. Should work.
Yeah, that should work.
Mim, you're an actual genius.
Thank you, Kai.
You're welcome.
We're gonna get this from out of bounds so that we don't have to clip again. That's fine, by the way. That's just collision there. Like some of the collision in this game is really weird. Like some floor collision just extends outwards like quite a bit. Okay. Here you're supposed to use the pumps to raise that platform, but you can just jump from that rock. I'm gonna do a little safety save here. Coming up is like the ridiculous jump that we were talking about earlier. It's pretty safe. Like usually you're not supposed to hit the void, but I don't want to end my speed run. So we're just gonna do a little save there. So let's see how many attempts this is gonna take us. And while I'm gonna try this, please go ahead if we have any donations.
Thanks very much. Dr. Doofenshmirtz has donated $5 with the comment, "A platypus? Perry the platypus?" My apologies for the really terrible impression.
It was alright.
I enjoyed it.
Alright, man, what am I trying to do here?
Yeah, so he's trying to go right there, like that, on the very edge of the wood platform there, out of bounds, because Phineas' nose is so huge that we cannot really stand on it in the middle. So we really have to be on the very edge and do a perfectly timed double jump to land on the other side of that platform. And it's very, very precise.
Yeah, like the issue is if Phineas' nose hits the fence, you're just gonna go back and bounce. Like it'll push you back. We have to be on the very edge, and we have to watch out that we like turn and jump. Okay, very nice.
Oh, that was good.
Brilliant. Well done, well done.
In my PB, that took me like a minute to get. So now we are finally in like the middle section that we couldn't get to otherwise.
Isn't there another big skip here that...
You mean a real mem original?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure I remember Mim playing around with this. Or I might be thinking something else, but... Most likely throughout this run I could just say isn't this a real mim strat? And it probably is a real mim strat.
Well, there's also quite a lot of tylltoons strats and, you know, Luke plays strats, someone strats, and, you know, the list goes on.
Yeah.
Zambrini strats. Okay, so can you explain this one?
Yeah, so we're basically waiting for the camera here to snap like that, and then we'll switch twice to lock Phineas in the invisible wall there. So now he can't move, and he's stored there with his floor position, and we're gonna use another propeller manip to go on top of the whole platform there.
Yeah, so like the reason you can lock them there is because there's an invisible wall there that has collision on the left, and like depending on where you stand or like which way you're facing, when you switch characters, like the other character is gonna get pushed to the side. So that way, like if we stand correctly, we can just push Phineas to the left, and then he can't follow us again because he's blocked off by the wall. And like finding the invisible wall can be a little tricky sometimes, but yeah, we can use the camera to set up for it.
The fact that you guys have found stuff like this is just incredible.
And it only saves like not a lot of time, like 5 seconds maybe, I don't know. But it's fun. So now coming up is the longest invention minigame. Technically it's also the most interesting one, but it's still the longest one.
Minecart?
Yep.
Good boy. Good
Coming
lord.
up is a little Mario Kart clone. And it's pretty boring. Like, the track is absurdly long. Fortunately, there's only 2 laps. But yeah, there's like no mechanics that make the racing interesting. Anything, there's like no drifting or something. Also, in first place, you can't get any good items. So we're just gonna drive. However, there is a shortcut, pretty much, right? Like if you stay in 4th, you might get a good item, but I don't think that's happening. Also, there's like no punishment for like hitting a wall, so that way you can just kind of turn more quickly if you're just gonna like fuck the wall. So basically, if you upgrade your minecart, so you might have seen it, there are these yellow toolboxes as well that contain custom parts. And if you pick them up, you can like add extra things to your skateboard or to your minecart. And in this minigame, those like extra pieces let you access some like hidden parts of the track, which are marked in purple on the minimap. And those actually contain death planes. So if we clip through a wall and hit one of the death planes from one of those sections, we can actually like get a checkpoint and teleport to a later part of the track and skip like a decent part of the track. It's not like the biggest skip, but it's pretty nice. And if you hit it twice, you save like half a minute actually, which is pretty good.
Isn't there also massive potential for a bigger skip in this level?
Yeah, so like the way the game checks if you've completed a lap is it literally just checks if you've driven over the lap, like the finish line. And like if you drive backwards over it, it subtracts a lap. So like basically if you manage to find a way to like go out of bounds early and then go backwards without hitting the finish line,
nice.
You could get like an ultra shortcut. That was a really nice clip. So that clip was found by Lizio, another German runner of the game. The way Lizio, I think it was Lizio anyway, the way Lizio got into the community was a couple of years ago at some BSG marathon. Someone did a run of this game and she asked around the venue if there was anyone there who recognized the game, and Lizio said he knew it. So he commentated it without ever having seen a run of it, and then he went back home and decided to lab things, and he found that clip. But actually for many years it was thought to be like unviable for runs because of how precise it is and because we didn't know how it worked. And that was the first thing that I ever contributed to the game, was I found like a decent texture setup that makes it like pretty consistent, but sometimes you just kind of have to wiggle like back and forth until you get it. So there's actually a faster method as well, found by Mim, because, you know, who else would have found it?
True.
I'm gonna try to go for it once. If I don't get it, that's like fine, because it is kind of stupid. But I'm gonna try it. It's gonna require me to drive backwards while out of bounds, and that's a little difficult. I need to watch out that I don't fall off too fast. I need to watch out that I don't go back inbound. So let's see if I can get it. Last time I got it first try at a marathon, so, you know, should be blessed, maybe.
It looks good.
Wasn't. I went back inbounds. I'm gonna go for it again because I didn't hit the
Let's
thing.
go.
There's like you can like really ruin your run there if you hit like a checkpoint that you don't want to hit. which would take you. Ah, I'm back in mouse. That's fine.
That's a shame.
It's alright. It's alright.
Just got to catch up to the others now and not lose.
Yeah, I might still win the race, honestly.
Well, I'm assuming you have to win to progress.
And you don't have to win. You just have to complete it.
Oh, that's
which
good.
is really nice. Like in the first game, you have to collect a bunch of stars on the track, and I actually forgot to place that there. You have to collect like a bunch of stars on the track, and the way they are laid out is you actually have to do the mini games multiple times to collect enough stars. But fortunately, we don't have to do that in this game. It says try again, but we don't have to try again. We can just continue.
Great design.
It's awesome. Okay, so now we're gonna move on to the underwater level, which is another auto-scroller, except this one does have RNG at the end, which is awesome. So this is based on the Loch Ness Monster episode, where Doofenshmirtz uses a submarine in Lake Nose. I was gonna say it's Lake Nose, not Loch Ness, that's the real one. So Doofenshmirtz uses a submarine in Lake Nose to collect zinc, which he needs to do his big laundry, whatever that's supposed to be. There's actually another episode where it is revealed what his big laundry plan was supposed to be. But yeah, at this point, we're just trying to fight the submarine because the Lake Nose monster actually needs the zinc to live.
I also just want to say, whilst it may not be an official Phineas and Ferb song, this does kind of bang this tune.
Well, I mean, it is like a remix of the Perry theme.
Yeah.
Yeah, like this game, I mean, obviously the music in this game is original, but a lot of the tracks in this game are like kind of based on tracks from the show.
Yeah, I was getting vibes from other songs from listening, but I can tell it was gamified, I guess.
I just gotta wait this out. If there was just anything to say, feel free.
Fantastic. You're not just raising money for a fantastic cause, but also for the opportunity to win some amazing prizes. We have a lot available. There is a link in the chat, prizes.esamarathon.com, to look at everything on offer. But all of these prizes are cumulative totals, meaning if you did want to be in with a shout to win a newly refurbed PlayStation 3 for your retro gaming needs, then it's a nice $69 donation, but also a sum of donations adding up to $69 will also work. The Sonic Lego sets community total $50, and a Crash 4 Nindroid, which is a lovely little daily prize with a minimum donation of $25 are all there. So please do get those donations in. You can be with a chance to win some amazing prizes.
That was some really nice RNG there. Normally the submarine moves. Alright, so this is probably the the most technical part of the run. So now we're in World 4, and we're going to need to do a part of this world backwards. And the way we're going to do that is we're going to do another trick similar to what we've seen in Worlds 1 and 3, where we're going to position Ferb, or actually Phineas in this case, under the platform, and then we're going to do another like propeller manipulation to get there. Except this one is a little interesting. But first of all, we actually have to do the final repair of the run, because we have to go all the way over there to the death plane without hitting the ground. And yeah, we need the... actually, that's not right. We need to get up there. And you could do it with the hover, but not without the hover. So we have to do this little repair. But that's fine. Overall, like, pretty decent minigame RNG in this run. Okay, so now we're gonna go over here, because first of all we do need to get another toolbox from over here. It's kind of annoying to get in there. Sometimes Ferb just doesn't want to do it, or sometimes he wants to avoid out. That's also fun. There's like, I don't know why, but like sometimes you just like fall through there, even though there's supposed to be a wall there. Sometimes he just wants to like fall through the floor. So that's a void out, right? So that can happen at any moment in the game. Good thing it happened here. So that's the only way to get out of that, pretty much. Just go back to the backyard. There we go. So killing Ferb here is kind of finicky because we can't move ourselves, pretty much. We just kind of like jump to the right, and then we have to quickly save ourselves. Normally, like if you hover over the void, it's really easy to manipulate Ferb into falling into it. But there you have to actually watch out that you don't die yourself. So this is going to take us all the way over there. You can hear Phineas dying repeatedly.
This glitch is just so... I keep commenting on it every time you do it. It's just so funny and just...
Okay, so here's the issue with the teleport platform, right? So it's in this little box here, and you can just walk right out of it. So the only way to like get up there is if we could lock a character in there. Unfortunately, we can't just like clip out of it, because if we drill clip, we can't get over here because we need Phineas. However, if you do a nose clip, which is basically the same thing, except you use Phineas' nose to clip and not the drill, you can lock Ferb inside of there and then move freely with Phineas. So now we're gonna do the hardest trick in the game. So I'm gonna shut up and let Mim take over.
Okay, so we're trying to do here, this is huge gap on the left, and we're gonna do something called huge gap skip, where we're gonna throw Ferb into the death plane, and then we're gonna save at parry here, and then we're gonna go back to the menu and load back in. What this does is it lets Ferb basically lets go of his propeller, and we try to get him into the death plane again, and then save again because of a backup here, because we didn't get the...
No, we have to do this method and no upgrades.
Oh yeah, true, because we don't have a hover. Yeah, that's right.
The other method is actually consistent with the setup that I found, but it's not applicable in this category.
Yeah, that's true, because you don't have a hover, but this should make it good. Yeah, Ferb is now falling into the death plane again, and now we just have to switch here, and that'll bring Ferb to the left side.
Yeah, so the reason that works is when you send Ferb into the void and then save the game and quit out, when you load back in, he's not going to have a stored position. So if you bring him back to do the propeller abuse, he doesn't have any position to go to. So he goes to the position 0, 0, which is in the middle of nowhere. So that would just soft lock the game if we go there. However, if we like save again while he is traveling, there's like a brief moment where he gets stuck on an invisible wall. And like if we save the game at that very moment, we're gonna save the position again as like somewhere on the left side of the gap. And then if we reload again, we can do the propeller manipulation to take us over there. And normally you have to use a platform that like doesn't count as ground. But if we stand on like the very edge there and like die and switch on the same frame, the position does not get updated, so we can just do the thing. Let's see, I can land there. Nope. Oh, that's really interesting.
Oh.
That's okay, so we're gonna have to... Actually, no, we have to... That's not what I wanted to do. Actually, didn't know you could do that. That's interesting. But that's what we have estimates for that are very lenient.
What is the world record for no upgrades?
107.
107.
We're gonna have to quickly do this again. That's fine. Why not? It's fine. We have time. By the way, there's also multiplayer in this game. You can play all of the invention mini games again.
Ah.
So like that movement there, where I try to like jump down, you have to like land on a specific platform, and it's like more difficult, obviously, if you can't hover. Okay, now it really does not want to coordinate. Like you need to like press L and right on the same frame, and I'm doing it like with 2 hands to make it easier, but sometimes that's fine. That should work. No, why doesn't it not work?
Do you have to save again, perhaps?
No, that's not it. It's we have the position saved. I just need to like input it right. That's awesome. You get it first try, and then you have to back it up. That doesn't work. We're only doing this for one toolbox, by the way. Okay.
What do you think it could be, Mim?
I don't know, but maybe you're too far on the front, so maybe try it a bit more to the screen, maybe a bit more forward.
You mean like be more left?
Yeah, because you might store his position above you if you're too far out.
Yeah, but like you're not supposed to store the position, right?
Yeah, but I don't know. Weird game.
Yeah, the game
Very
is weird.
quirky.
No, I think it's like you need to like switch on the same frame, and if you don't get it, it's... Yeah, I mean, it's an awesome trick, right? That's why it's the hardest trick. This should look good. Yep.
There we are.
Nice.
So the good news is that I actually do not have to do the jump again that I just did to go all the way back down that way. I really did not expect to avoid up, but it's okay. It's okay. We've got time. Like that was just because I had to go up there for the toolbox, but now I can just go down here. Like this is more or less where we would have ended up. Oh wait,
But
that's
do you
not
have?
right. Now
do you have the toolbox?
I just realized I have to do it anyway because there's no
Yeah.
upgrades. In 80%, I don't have to do it. Okay, forgetting the category. Okay, so we're gonna have to do that again as well. That's okay. Like the estimate has like an extra 10 minutes that I don't need, so we should be good. The only thing that's like kind of worrying is the fact that we started late, but it's okay. Okay. I was trying
Maybe
to
you have
the
to-
giant
You
clam, by
don't
the way.
have the toolbox, do you?
Yeah, that's the reason I'm here.
Yeah, actually,
But I
big
mean-
shout outs to Giant Clam.
Okay, I should have just done that. The reason I didn't do that is because you take fall damage. And because I didn't want to take fall damage, I just wasted like 5 minutes, but that's okay. So now we go back to the backyard. And now we do the rest forwards more or less. So we're not going to do like the entire world forwards. We are going to go like up and down and all around.
Don't go there.
Mm.
You know what that song does to me.
I had to mention that.
Yeah, Till, I'm pretty sure you missed the toolbox.
I don't think I did.
Yeah, because you reloaded after you collected the toolbox up there, and I tried to remind you, but
Oh, that's what you
Yeah.
meant. Oh,
yeah.
Well, in that case,
How bad does that mess things up?
we have to go back there. That's what you meant. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, Mem is right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have to go back. That's okay. This run was like pretty solid for a marathon run, and it turned into an absolute meltdown. But that's okay.
Doesn't that happen with every World 4?
Yeah, World 4 is rough, but like, yeah. Thank you very much. It's a rough category.
Yeah, no, I mean, I've seen you do a lot of 80%, and I see a lot of how tough World 4 can be, especially with that huge gap skip.
Especially without having the hover, yeah.
Yeah, so this is still a very impressive showcase.
Okay, so here we're gonna ignore all of the things in the way again. It's actually really funny because you can just walk past this thing. But there's gonna be another rock in the way, so we're gonna clip out anyway. Get the toolbox. That worked. Now we're gonna go back in here. So this next propeller manipulation is gonna be a little different from what we see in 80%, just because we don't have the hover. So we're gonna have to do another one of those tricks where we lock a character behind a wall.
Can I ask a question? What are those things? They're like what looks like cartons of milk and a teddy bear.
Basically, if you've got Candace triggered, you can blow into the microphone there, and that's gonna like spawn an item that's gonna distract her, or that's gonna like give you back health.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Okay. So now we're all the way up here. And coming up is like the trick that kind of made this category fun. It was already possible without it, but this saved like 5 minutes in the category. Courtesy of Realman, by the way.
Yeah, so we actually talked about the position 0, before, that if you save and load back in, and with the character not touching the ground or falling in the void, you actually have the position 0 stored.
Man.
again.
Yeah, this run is falling apart right now.
Yeah.
It's fine.
fine.
It's fine. It's like,
Yeah.
You're doing great.
It's
Fine.
It's okay because we have to go for the backup anyway.
Yeah, from a runner that has run this game, it's insanely hard. Everything in this game, you can void out almost everywhere, and it's so hard to not void out. Very impressive still.
I did a practice run of this yesterday, and I finished like 20 seconds behind PB, by the way. But yeah, it's okay. So yeah, this is what we had to do anyway, because Mem was right that I forgot the toolbox because I had to reload. Like, that's the problem with like backups. If you like have to reload a save, you need to like remind yourself of what you've done already. I'm trying to like get an estimate of what this run is going to be, but I think we should still be able to finish under estimate, because the estimate for no upgrades was 120. I said that to whoever it was, that if we do no upgrades, the estimate is going to be 120 and not 110. I think. Yeah, no, okay, that's fine. So we're back here. It's sorry that you have to watch this again, but this ending.
I mean, this trigger's awesome, so I don't mind. Also, I like interacting with Perry, so
it's great. Yeah.
You know, the it's great.
I think I'm not gonna give an estimate for the final time, but it should be okay. Oh man.
Ah.
Yeah, I think I wasn't quite on the edge there. I think it's like really hard to be on the edge because you can fall down so easily. It's a precise setup. That could be good.
There we are, well done.
Nice.
We've seen it 2 times already.
Yeah, but it gets better every time.
It's true.
Yeah, especially when we know how difficult it is.
Yeah, it's really hard. Okay, so here's the toolbox that we missed. Like, the thing with this category is that as we said, we don't get the goggles because we don't need them. What they actually do is they show you the toolboxes on the minimap. So it's like kind of good to like not forget things, but because we don't have it makes it harder to like remember everything. I mean, obviously I do remember everything, but it's just that if I have to reload the save and like do something again, I would forget that I've done that already. Okay, so we have that. Now we're gonna go back to where we just voided out. And then we're going to finish the run without any more meltdowns, promise. Who would have thought that like a cheap game on the DS that was made in like 5 minutes, that is held together by duct tape, would be so hard.
No, and I think definitely, as we said, you've been doing an amazing job showing this game off. And I think people in chat should be donating to...
Yeah, we still haven't heard any favorite Phineas and Ferb.
Yeah. If you're not gonna, at least if you're not gonna show off your favorite Phineas and Ferb songs, at least talk about how sick this run is in the donations. It all goes to a good cause, and yeah, I think we'd all appreciate it here.
Okay, this is what I should have done. We're safety saving, just to make sure we don't go over estimate. But yeah, there's only 7 more toolboxes, and then we can finish the game. So we're still doing, you know, not the worst.
Do you mind if I cut in for one moment as well?
Go for it.
I'm just going to say as well that certainly someone here has mentioned that we are very close to 48k, so sure that should be a very good incentive to let Till know how sick this run is as well.
Can we get to 50k? Oh my god.
Yeah, donate stream 1 and snipe 50k, 48k.
Yeah.
That jump there is also really precise. I can just kill your run. Actually, the first ever no upgrades run that was ever performed was like a 150 by Mem, and he refused the safety save, so he died there like 10 times.
I remember that.
That's how you lose time. You know what? Just gonna do it.
Good idea.
Yeah.
I do like the Buford there, just
And you also got like the Drillinator, whatever it's called, in the background.
the Drillinator.
I was gonna say it's from a season 1 episode. I feel like it's from Candace Loses Her Head, which is weird because man, we've got season 2 references here.
Now, Till, if you could have any innator, what innator would you have?
Oh, there's so many of them.
I mean, if you could have your own personalized innator, it doesn't have to be one of Doofenshmirtz's.
Oh, that makes it even harder. Oh wait, I just realized I didn't even know it. So now we're gonna try where I just messed up. We're gonna, yeah, that's what we wanted to do. Just barely missed the platform on the last try.
I think I'd have a train price innator. Because I would love to go to more events, but train prices are so expensive.
The thing is, there's the episode, I forgot what it's called. It's like the innator method, where he builds an innator to just like control people's minds to give them money. Or like to go to like a training program where he teaches people how to scam them. So this is a fun trick. What Mim was about to say before I voided out like 10 minutes ago. So basically, we kill Ferb and then we save and reload the game, and that way we delete his position, so he goes to position 0. And usually position 0 is a random spot in the middle of nowhere, and you just softlock the game if you go there because you're going to be in the propeller state forever and you can't get out of it. It just happens to be that the position 0 on this map is at that very spot, and it lets us like skip the upgrade, because normally you have to upgrade the skateboard to be able to use those ramps. Here I'm gonna try again to not void out. This is like the part that I was scared of. I was like, if I void out, it's gonna be here. Bro. Like the ground here extends really far. There we go. It's really easy with the hover again. There's like a pretty good texture setup to time your jumps. But yeah, without the hover, it's so hard. It's so much harder. And now we're going all the way up here.
There is talks at the moment about doing some singing in the crowd.
Oh my lord.
Now, I certainly don't expect everyone in here to know the full lyrics to a Phineas and Ferb song. So it might be a bit difficult. But who here knows the Perry the Platypus theme? There's a few hands up. That's good. Now, how much do you need to concentrate in the final boss, Till?
Not at all. That's the surfing minigame anyway.
Shall we do it then? When Perry the Platypus is beating Dr. Doofenshmirtz for the last time, shall we sing the Perry the Platypus theme crowd?
Oh my lord.
I think surely if we get a donation to make that happen.
Yeah, only
Don't give it away for free.
Yeah, no.
That's very true.
If we can meet that 48k by in the next...
Oh my god, here you can void out. It's never happened to me in like 2 years, but you know, just gotta make sure we don't like get it like a 140 with this run. So here, again, we're kind of abusing the subsection to get into World 4-3 early. Alright. And that way we can actually skip like a huge chunk of World 4-2 and like the beam. It's kind of nice. I'll go over here. Do the propeller manipulation over here.
Some dinosaurs? What's this a reference to?
I'm trying to think right now. Okay, that spot is kind of difficult to get because of the walls, right? I had no idea what the cycle was gonna be there. But okay. Oh wait, that's not what I wanted to do.
Is now a good time for donations, Till, or?
Sure, go for it.
So we have a $10 donation from Perry the Platypus saying, weird enough, can the crowd do a quick doobie doobie dooba doo?
Doobie doobie dooba,
doobie
doobie doobie dooba,
doobie doobie dooba, doobie doobie dooba.
Or we just get the crowd to do that for the final boss. Just
Yeah, the whole time. I think that'll be a not distracting thing in the background.
I won't participate just because I don't want to distract Till too much.
No, I mean, it's fine. Well, actually, there's a section coming up where I can put my console down for 2 minutes and I don't have to do anything. So if you want to sing, do it then.
Sounds good. Is it in a Perry the Platypus section?
It's in the surfing section.
Possibly then. Unless you play Phineas and Ferb, I actually don't know.
I was kind of hoping I would make this cycle. We're not losing time because we would have had to wait anyway. That's fine. There we go. Oh, good on him. So I actually skipped the balloon this time, which is pretty nice. We're gonna go into the skateboard ramp. So this is where you're supposed to have the level 3 skateboard to use these gravity-defying ramps. Fortunately, they actually have collision for some reason, so we can just jump on them. Otherwise, this category would not be possible. There's only one more toolbox that we have to get. We're gonna be back in the underwater section. We couldn't do the entirety of the underwater section coming from the other side just because that was like a gap that was impossible to cross. What just happened?
The game crashed.
I've never seen that.
I've
never seen that in my life.
Right again, game crash.
The game just crashed. Okay.
Yeah.
How was that set you back?
Very far, so we're gonna do a little backup. I've never seen that in my life. There's a trillion ways to crash the game. That's never happened. So it's a marathon run, right?
Oh.
That's the that's never happened moment. Finally happened. That's okay. Kai, can you please do me a favor?
Certainly.
Can you go to speedrun.com/PAFRA? Also, why is the home button not working? Okay.
Oh, there we are. Okay.
Okay, can you please go to guides on speedrun.com/PAFRA?
Give me a moment. I'm still catching up.
I have it ready here.
Oh,
Okay, can you please go to the? Can you give me the cheat code for the surfing level?
Yeah.
Alright, because we gotta show it off. We could just go to the final boss right away, yeah? But we gotta show it off. Also, like Ferb, I know what we're gonna do today. We're gonna try to find out how the game crashed there, because I have no idea. Anyway, go ahead.
Okay, so X, B, A, Y, down, X, B, A, X, up.
Alright, so this is the fun level that we would have done. We don't even have to build it, which is awesome. So this is where you don't have to do anything. This is like the break before the final boss.
Okay, crowd, let's hear it. Doobie doobie dooba doobie doobie dooba doobie doobie dooba doobie doobie dooba. That's it. No, I mean, that's it. Keep. I said that's it, as in keep going. Doobie doobie dooba doobie doobie dooba doobie doobie dooba doobie doobie dooba. Doobie dooba, doobie 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 doobie dooba.
Alright, you have no idea how long.
It's gonna be a long doobie-doobie-dooba.
So you can do like cool tricks.
There's a version on YouTube that goes on for 10 hours, I think.
Yeah, probably, right? So we're just gonna wait this out, and then we're gonna do the final boss.
Let's know when you get towards the end, we'll pretend like we were doobie doobie dooba in the whole
Actually,
time.
the estimate for no upgrades was 120, right? For any percent it was 110, so it should be good thanks to cheat codes. We're not gonna delay the marathon too much.
No.
Woo!
I'm just like kind of disappointed that like the run was such a meltdown, but like the crash, I'm sorry. Like
Yeah, there's nothing you could have done about that.
there's a bunch of ways this game can crash. I was gonna say I'm aware of all of them and what you have to do to force them. It's awesome to run games like this at a marathon. It's just fantastic, right? Like the game is very well made, and I guess we just showed off everything the game has to offer. A gift that keeps on giving. Unless you can do cool tricks, it doesn't do anything. It only gives you score. But it says awesome. There's more tricks that you can unlock, but we're not going to do that.
But yeah, someone is verifying that they
Yeah, I know,
not
right?
seen this
Like,
crash either.
you can crash the game if you skip upgrades and then try to upgrade.
Is that the end of the level there?
Yeah.
Let's get a couple more doobie doobie doobas in. Doobie doobie dooba, doobie doobie dooba, doobie doobie dooba, doobie doobie dooba. And thank you, crowd, for doing that the entire level. Thank you. Woo! Woo!
That's some nice doobie doobas.
That'll look good when we highlight it and we just do a bit of a cut to the end.
All right, so someone also has the code ready. There you go. I just missed it. That's great. What was it?
Missed the up at the end.
X, Y, left, X, B, left, B, X, up. All right, there you go. So this is the final boss. The final boss in this game is very easy, but before that, we actually have to do this little section here where we have to fight a bunch of plants. So this is based on the Atlantis episode, just like most of World 4. So we have to go through Doofenshmirtz's Blimp to beat all these piranha plants. And they spawn randomly, and we gotta kill 3 waves of them. There's 3 types of them, and depending on the color, they have like different amounts of HP. So the green ones die in 1 hit, the blue ones take 2 hits, the red ones take 3 hits. Generally, you want them to come to you, so you just kind of want to like wait somewhere and hope they attack you. In the first like 2 rooms, it's like a decent strategy to just stand all the way back here, and then they should come close to you. In the 3rd wave, I'm gonna have to maybe chase them around a bit or like see where a bunch of them spawn. So like generally, you don't want to mash the button, because if you mash it, he actually does this like auto combo where he slashes like 3 times in a row and you can't stop it. So you just want to like kind of time your X presses, and you also want to like count how many times you fit them. Okay, so here in this room, like generally I want to try to like have my back against the wall and like have them surround me, because they can actually push you away, which makes hitting them a bit annoying. So we're just gonna like slash and try and get them. Okay, this looks okay.
This looks good. Doesn't want to say that I don't know this game.
Yeah, so that was like an example of what you get for like mashing. I did that extra slash that I didn't have to do. But also it's like really difficult to count the HP of like 20 plants at the same time.
Is time coming up, by the way?
Time is after the final boss. So there's a cutscene here.
Oh, there's a...
And then we quickly fight the final boss. So time is in like a minute or like minute and a half.
I'll get ready to press the button for you then.
Yeah, I'll say time. Alright, so I guess since we don't have that much time left, because we're kind of overestimated right now, we're like behind the schedule. Just want to like shout out the writing and community. This game is like kind of small. Obviously, it does have a very passionate community. It's a fun game. I feel like most of us play this game because we grew up with it, except for like Mim, who's the exception. Plays it because it's sick, and you should play it because it's sick. And actually, the reason I got into this game because I played it as a kid, obviously, but I saw a marathon run of it by someone at like some BSGs. I was like, oh wait a second, this is a speed game, sick. I'll get into it. So like, if you play this game as a kid and like you still have your cartridge, give it a try.
Can I also jump in with a shout out? Can we just get a round of applause for Real Mim? Because this category wouldn't be possible without him.
True. Shout out to Mim.
Thank you, thank you.
Also shout out to everyone else who's like found glitches in this game. Like,
yeah.
Matthew, Zambrini, someone, Lizio, Luke plays. All of the people who ran this game before like Mim and I ever did. And time is coming up. Time. Woo!
Nice.
That was certainly a run of this game. You would see the credits now normally, but let's just pretend we're watching the credits.
Woo!
So yeah, considering we don't have that much time left, I was just gonna say thank you, ESA, for having me. Stay tuned. We still have like more licensed games coming up, I think. Make sure to donate for that Starlord skip. I've been tylltoons. Thanks for having me.
Great.
Indeed, thank you very much. After the intermission, we'll be back with Barbie and the Three Musketeers by Yasagami. Yeah, stick around. This is me, Robert Sparkles, signing off and handing you over to... handing you over to Radira, who is not Spitako, who will be doing a donation reading moving forwards. So, yeah, see you guys soon.